Hello everyone. Good evening to all. Welcome you all in this session. I hope every one of you is fine. So today we are going to start the mini marathon session of module D of paper ABFM. So we have completed module A mini marathon, then B, then C, and last module is left that today we're going to complete this. So likewise, for ABM also three modules have been completed, B, C, and D. So those who have not watched all these sessions, I highly request you to, whenever you get time, do watch the session. Okay. Now, in this mini marathon, what we're going to discuss? So we will discuss about the topics which are most relevant and important topics from module D through MCQs. So with the help of questions, we will revise all the concepts which we have studied in our different batches and which are relevant for your exam, for your upcoming exam, that is November, December 2025. Now, so revision of all important concept and practice of questions. So with the help of questions, we will revise all our concepts. So those who are new to this channel, I highly request them to, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, do subscribe the channel. And if you feel that sessions are helpful to you, then if you get any benefit from these sessions, then like and share the session as well. So let's start the session. So for every question, I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. If not, then I'll give you the answers. Now, so before starting this one important information, so we are coming up with all-in-one combo. That is, in this combo, you will be getting the benefit of Crash plus Cracker batch. So the benefit of Crash and Cracker batch will be provided in this all-in-one combo. Now, what is the benefit of Crash? So in Crash, we will do the revision of all the important concept, and in Cracker batch, the concept which we have revised in our Crash batch, we will practice more and more MCQs. So in different patterns, in case study questions, in fill in the blanks, in match the following, so different sort of questions will be practiced in the Cracker batch. So do enroll in this session, enroll now to get the benefit. Now, the first question. Two statements are given to you. You have to find which statement is correct. So as per section 43 of the Companies Act 2013, what it says, the preference shares in case of any company limited by their shareholders, they would get the preferential right. Now, what are these preferential rights? The right to claim for dividend, a fixed amount of dividend, and if the company gets liquidated or wind up, so they will get the benefit of that also. So yes, this is correct. In preference shares, we have studied that the dividend of the preference shareholders, these are fixed. They have got a very limited voting right. Then they, whenever the company makes any kind of profit, first dividend will be given to these preference shareholders. And if the company gets liquidated or wind up, so first preference is given to these shareholders. Yes, this is correct. Now, what does the statement 2 says? In terms of provisions of section 47. So all the sections are very important. Now, where the dividend in respect to preference shares have not been paid for a period of 2 years or more, then the preference shareholders will get the voting right. Now, according to section 47, what it says, that if the dividend is not given to preference shareholders for a period of 2 years or more, if till this period the dividend is not given, then after that the preference shareholders will get the voting right. They can participate in the company's matter. So yes, this statement is also correct. So both the statements are correct. Both 1 and 2 are true. Now next. So this question is based on your PNCPS. Foreign institutional investors and NRI, they may invest up to dash of the issue respectively with each investor. So here the total value you have to tell me, and here each investor limited to how much value. So they can invest up to 49% and 24%. So 49 is for foreign institutional investors and 24% is for NRI. So these are the total. See, S is written means total all NRIs, all financial investors, they can invest up to 49 and 24. And each of them, they have the limit of one single financial institutional investor. They have the limit of 10%, and NRI, this in NRI has the limit of 5%. So this is the individual value and this is the total value. Now, this question is based on the topic P and CPS, very, very important topic. Now, what is P and CPS? So before that, we have one more question. Banks may issue perpetual non-cumulative preference shares. Now, you know what are preference shares. You also know what is cumulative. You also know what is non-cumulative and what is perpetual. So every of the word, each word meaning, you know it very well. Now, P and CPS, they get a call option at a specific date. But the call option is only provided when the instrument has run, when the company has run for how many years? At least 5 years, less than 5 years, or at least 10 years. Yes, good evening to all. Good evening, everyone. So at least 5 years. If the company has run, if the instrument has run for at least 5 years, then the bank will get the option of call. That is, the call option will be given by the bank. Yes. Now, so what is P and CPS? So remember this P and CPS, it is only issued by the bank. It is issued by bank. Then this type of preference shares is issued by Indian banks as a part of additional Tier 1 capital. So such type of shares are issued by Indian banks and they are issued. So bank board of members will decide that how much P and CPS they have to issue. Now the board of members, the bank's board of members, they will decide that how much they have to issue. So perpetual non-cumulative preference shares are what? See, perpetual means what? Which does not, these shares never have a fixed maturity date, means the bank does not have to repay the money at the stipulated time or at a set time. The investor can hold it in for a period of indefinitely. Now, non-cumulative means when your dividend are not given, like when arrears are there, you are not given the dividend. Means the dividend for previous year, if you have not given the dividend, so this year you cannot claim the previous year dividend. That is non-cumulative. So unpaid dividend is not carried forward. So investors, they don't get it late. Preference shares. So these are the type of shares where the investors, they get dividend before the equity shareholders. And they also get the priority during the liquidation of the company. So when company gets liquidated, they will get the amount first. They will get the money first. And they usually don't have voting rights. So these P and CPS, these are considered the additional Tier 1 capital under Basel norms, under Basel III norms. Now, why this is considered the additional Tier 1 and why P and CPS are issued by bank? So mainly it helps the bank strengthen their capital base without any kind of without diluting any kind of ownership to other shareholders. That is why this is given to strengthen their capital structure. So you can buy the P and CPS of a bank. Now bank has promised that bank will provide you 5% dividend annually. Okay. Now if the bank is not paying the dividend any year, so you will lose that dividend forever. So there is no fixed date for the bank to return you the money. That is non-cumulative. So that is why the banks are issued. Banks can issue these P and CPS. And if in additional Tier 1 capital cannot exceed 1.5% of RWA, if any excess amount is there, now that excess amount will be compensated under Tier 2 capital, but it should be less than 2% of RWA. So in Tier 1 capital, maximum 1.5%. It cannot exceed maximum 1.5%. But if any additional P and CPS is issued by the bank, so that would be used under Tier 2 capital. That is, and it should be less than 2%. Not more than 2%, even not 2% also, it should be less than 2%. Now, they don't have any kind of maturity date. Their dividends are fixed or fluctuating depending upon the circumstances. Now, this is important. PNCPs, they should not have put option. So no put option is provided to them. Only call option is provided to them. And call option is also provided when the instrument is acceptable, when it has run for at least a period of 5 years, and when RBI has given the approval that yes, you can exercise your call option. Means bank will call you and give you your money back, but you don't have the option to come to the bank and ask your money. That is called put option. Now, FII, NRIs, they invest 49.24 and individual, it is limited to 10% and 5%. So these are some important points, 8 or 10 points related to P and CP. So answer is option A. Now, question number 4. A convertible bond. Now, what is convertible bond? The bond which can be converted into equity shares. Now, it has its par value 500 rupees, but it is sold for 520. So, it is sold for premium 520. Par value is what? The bond par value is 500. Now, conversion ratio is 20, and you have to find what conversion price. Now, what is the formula of conversion price? That is bond par value divided by conversion ratio. So what is the par value? 500 divided by 20. It will come 25. So option C is the correct answer. Clear? Yes, this is 25. Now, so what is conversion ratio and conversion price? So ratio and price, these both are related to your convertible securities. When any securities, when it is likely to convert into debt later on, so in that case, you have to know the conversion price, at what price the value is being converting and at what ratio. So conversion ratio is what? It is the number of common shares. Common shares are what? These are your equity shares. So equity shares, they have different names. They are known as the owner's capital. They are known as equity share. It is known as the common share. Now, bondholder receives when converting a convertible security, and it is calculated by dividing the convertible security par value. Now, in this question, what is the convertible security? The bond is given. So, bond par value we will write. So, par value divided by the conversion price. It means if the conversion ratio is 20:1, means one bond can be converted into 20 shares of that company. And price means at what price the convertible bond is converting into the company's share. That is called conversion price. Now, next question number 5. So total we have 25 questions. What is the primary purpose of IBC 2016 and how does it affect the winding up process for startup companies? So I guess you all have studied very well what is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. So it is mainly used for your stressed assets. When banks, they are unable to recover their loan amount, their stressed assets, then this act helps in that case. So banks or creditors, they can take the help of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Now, how does it affect the winding up process for startup companies? Suppose any new company is there, like startup company, it is a new company, a new business model it has. Now, if that company is not has not worked properly, the company has not made profit, or the company is continuously in loss, so there is the option that you can wind up the startup companies. Now, what is the time period provided to you for winding up? So, primary purpose for code is to expedite the resolution of insolvency cases, and it permits the startup companies that they can wind up their activities within 90 days. So, normally 180 days is given for the companies, but for startup companies, it is 90 days. Why? Because as soon as these companies will wind up, then it will be beneficial for the company also and for the law also. So that is why within 90 days they have to wind up their operations. Now, next question number 6. Four options are given to you. It is on the topic of business analytics as management tool, the big data analytics. Now, four different types of analytics is given. You have to match. Now, descriptive means what? I have told you that break the word. Descriptive means if you will break, you will get the describe. It means it is describing what it is. Means what it is means what you have done in the past. According to that, what you will do in the future. So what already you have done in the past, you are describing that phenomena. So descriptive analytics is what? That is, this method involves the interpretation of historical data and key performance indicators. Now, diagnostic means to understand the problem, why it actually occurred. So this type of analysis focus on previous performance to understand which factors are responsible. Predictive means making predictions, okay, using different mathematical and statistical tools to evaluate your future outcomes. So this is option two. And prescriptive means what we can do, what should be done in order to achieve this thing, or what should be done in order to make our company reach at the top. So this approach makes use of data on previous performance to make recommendations on how similar situation can be managed in future, how we can manage such type of activity in future. That is prescriptive. So it is 4, then 3, 2, 1. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Option number D is the correct answer. Clear? Now, so this is types of business analytics. Descriptive, what happened. Predictive, what will happen. Prescriptive, how we can make it happen. And diagnostic is it explain why it happened, the root cause of the problem. Okay, so you can read the slide. So all I have written. Descriptive is what happened. Diagnostic, why it happened. You are finding the cause or reason behind that activity. Predictive means what you can do best, how you can work to make it this happen. And prescriptive means what we should do now, what we should do for our future. So how we can get the best result. So what we should do now. That is prescriptive. Now, next is from Startup Finance, the Startup India, that is SISFS. So Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, main primary mission is what? Why Startup India Seed Fund Scheme is introduced? So from the question only the answer is hidden. So Startup India Seed Fund means this startup will provide you the fund for the basic level of fund, the seed level of financing for the growth of the company. So to identify prospective business owners, no. To provide funding to startup for proof of concept, for product trials, for prototype development, for trading, commercialization, and for market entry. So this scheme is introduced to provide fund for in the early stages of business. Now, 4 statements are provided to you. So that is VC stands for venture capital. Venture capital funding stages exclude acquisition financing. Seed funding is most risk averse stage in VC. Growth capital is infused after post commercialization, or late stage funding may include bridge or mezzanine capital. We can say mezzanine funding. So tell me, VC funding stages, they exclude acquisition financing or they include acquisition financing? We have studied now that venture capitalists, they help the companies to acquire another company, or they provide funding for launching the product, for developing the product. So this is, it includes. Now seed funding is most risk averse. No, private equity is most risk averse stage. So seed funding is what? Seed funding is the initial level funding that is provided to the companies. So this is also wrong. This is also wrong. Now growth capital is infused, yes, when actually your product is ready to sell in the market. now your product is ready to reach to different customers in the market, then such type of funding is provided for the growth capital. When you want to launch a product in foreign countries, when you want to launch your product in different regions, then growth capital is required. Yes, this is correct. Now, late stage funding, it includes the bridge finance, the mezzanine finance. Yes, this is also correct. The mezzanine finance is the finance when any borrower, any customer has done the default, or any not customer, the stakeholder has done the default, and company gives the option that you can convert your loan, the default loan, into the equity shares. That is mezzanine capital. So this is also correct. So 3 and 4 are correct. Okay, so statement 4 is correct, 3 is also correct, as growth capital is typically provided after commercialization, and since late stage funding often excludes bridge and mezzanine capital to prepare for exit or expansion. Now, match the following. ISO with their different specific activities. So ISO 32210, it relates for sustainable financing. Then 14007, it relates for cost and benefit. This you have to learn. This you have to do the rote learning. Then 14,008, monetary valuation, and 14,097, environment. Sorry, this is assessing and reporting investment. So we have 2, 4, 1, and 3. Option D. Now, 10. Which of the following is a key difference between private equity and venture capital? What is the difference? Although these two are same, see, venture capital, this is also the part of private equity. Now, but there is a thin line difference between these two. So, venture capital and private equity. So, private equity, they invest in a more mature company where they can expect more returns. Whereas venture capital, they provide funding for seed level, for initial level, for prototype development, for in early stages companies. So PE typically invests in mature, while VC focuses on startup and early stage companies. So correct answer is option number A. So private equity firms, they generally invest in established companies, the companies which has been established or from where they can expect more returns. So they will take the more ownership of that company also if they are investing in such companies, because they will give more loan, they will provide more loan to the companies, more funds to the companies. So they will ask more equity in that company as well. Now, venture capital, they invest in startup business in early stage companies. When you have started your company at a very early stage, you have arranged funds from bootstrapping, from then you have arranged funds from your friends, okay, from different persons. So in that case, venture capital will provide you funds. So VC does not typically invest in public companies, and PE can involve private and public companies. Okay, now PE firms often provide combination of equity and debt financing, but mainly private equity, they involve in private, they provide funds in private company only. Or if there is a public company, then that public company would be unlisted from the stock exchange, then private equity will provide funds. So public company should not be the entirely public, the listed company, it should be the unlisted company. So first public companies will be unlisted from the stock exchange, then PE will provide funds to those companies. Otherwise, no. All right. Now, so that is why option A is correct answer. Now, question number 11. Dash of the Companies Act 2013 states that issue of irredeemable shares is prohibited. Irredeemable means if no repayment date is there. No repayment date is decided. That is called irredeemable. Redeemable means when repayment date is decided. That The shares will be redeemed you after 10 years, after 12 years, after 15 years. That is redeemable shares. Now it is prohibited and it puts an outer limit for redemption of period not exceeding 20 years. Now, so basically you can provide irredeemable shares not exceeding 20 years means up to 20 years you can provide, but not beyond this. Now, but permits issue of preference shares for a period exceeding 20 years for infrastructure project. For other project, it cannot be increased, it cannot be exceeded 20 years. Only in case of infrastructure project, it can exceed 20 years. Why? Because we know that in infrastructure projects, your time is blocked. Okay, sometimes you take 20 years, 25 years, 30 years to work on that single project. So that is why the 20 years can be exceeded in case of infrastructure project, but in case of other than infrastructure project, it should not exceed 20 years. Now, all these things are included in which section? 43, 55, 47, 62. So if you remember that the very first question we did, so that includes section 47, where if the preference share holders, they are not given, that they are not provided dividend for a period of 2 years or more, then they will get the voting right. So that is included in section 47. If I can show you which, see this one. Just now we have done this, if you remember. Yes, now. So section 47 is excluded. Now, 55 is what it tells about this. That is option B. Option B is the correct answer of question number 11. So 47, section 55, these two sections, these are your previous year questions. These came in your in your past exam. Now, what is the difference between pre-seed round and seed round? So you can relate that seed round, if pre is added means it is before than the seed round. So there is not that much difference between pre-seed and seed round. No, pre-seed round comes before seed round in terms of funding stage. Yes, it comes before seed round. True. Now seed round is raising capital from angel investors, while pre-seed is for friends and family. Is it so? Is it for friends and family? No. This is correct. Seed round is for coming the angel investors, they invest the money for seed round in early stages of business. This is correct. But this line is not correct. Now, seed round is for early stage startup. Yes, this is also correct. Pre-seed round is for more established. No. Private equity is for more established startups. And there is no difference. No, there is difference. So B, C, and D are incorrect. Now, what was asked is what is the difference? So option A is correct. So these are the types of funding rounds. Pre-seed for proof of concept that yes, now your product is good to start. You have a good idea of your product. You can start working on your product. That is proof of concept. Now, Series A, it is for revenue growth when you want more money for your startup business. That is for growth, development, branding, marketing. Series B is for growth of the product when you want to when you want to add more features in your product, when you do market expansion, when uh, you are setting up your business in different locations, then in that case you need Series B. And Series C is when you want to start your business in foreign country or you want to launch your product in foreign country also. You are expanding your business in foreign countries, acquiring the business in international market. Then at that time you need Series C funding. So three types of stages are funding is there: Series A, Series B, and Series C. I guess it's not visible. Now it's visible to you, I guess. Now, so read just once. If you have any doubt, ask. Now, next question number 30. Again, two statements are given to you in from pure flow pipeline. This is the question from your artificial intelligence. So Kubeflow pipelines, it provides a scalable platform for deploying machine learning models. Now, what is Kubeflow pipeline? It helps in the uh, transmitting in one information from one place to another. So it is a scalable platform. It deploys, it trains different models. It deploys machine learning model into different environments, into different cloud features. Yes, this is correct. Now, it supports the reuse of component and rapid experimentation in machine learning. Yes, this is also correct. So, this Qflow pipeline, it basically helps to transfer data from one path to the next path. And if any deviations are there, if any difficulties are there, then again it will check, it will again reuse that component for experimentation. So, both the statements are true. So it is a tool designed to help you build and manage workflow step by step. So it is a sequential process. If one step will be completed, then only you can move towards to the next step. Like think of it as a way to organize and automate all the tasks. First, you need to train the model. After training, you will do the testing of the model. That model is working properly or not. Once you have done the testing, then you will implement that model in your AI gadget. Implementing means you will deploy that model on AI model, and then it is ready to work. So this is Qflow pipe. So like for in a more simple language, suppose you are baking a cake and there are several steps. So first you will collect the ingredient. After collecting, you will mix them, you will bake them, you will decorate them, and then you will then that the cake is ready to serve. So that is called Qflow pipe. So it helps you to automate and connect the steps into single smooth process, step by step process where one step is completed, then only you can move towards the next step. Now, next two statements are given, and again it is from NLP, natural language processing. What is NLP? Natural language processing. So we know that computer, they don't understand our language. Neither we understand their language. So computer only understand the bits, the binary digit, that is 0 and 1. So NLP is what it helps to translate our language to their language and their language in our language. So it enables banks to analyze customer feedback from multiple channels. Yes, it cannot be used to detect fraudulent activity. No, it is used to detect fraudulent activity. So this is incorrect. Only statement one is correct. So it is natural language processing is what it is a technology that helps the computers to understand and read the language which we are providing them. Like if we are putting number one. So this number first it will be changed into the binary digit, or if I'm writing like my name, if I'm writing on the system. Now this name will be converted into the binary digit 0 and 1. Then machine will understand that yes, you are giving the input, you have given your name. What if you want anything like you are searching, okay, you are searching in the document where the name Saloni is written. Now that machine will understand and then machine will provide you the input. So NLP is what it is a technology that helps the machines to understand your language and you also understand their language. So like we have chat GPT, we have Google Assistant, we have Siri, Alexa. So these are just the enabled process of NLP. So because human speaks naturally, so we need translator between humans and computers. So these translators will help the computers to understand our language and we will also understand the computer language. Like Google search, you type a question, NLP helps Google understand it. Voice assistants are there, Alexa, Siri. We have Chat GPT. If you want to ask anything, if you want to get knowledge related to anything, you can ask from Chat GPT. Then we have different AI tools, Gemini, okay, then Perplexity, spam filters in emails. So these all include NLP. Now, four statements are given to you. So AI hubs are government funded R&D centers for AI in mutual fund. Is it for mutual funds? AI hubs are what? Where all the instruments, all the tools uh, are present at one place. That is called AI hub. So these are government funded R&D centers, but not in mutual fund. It reduces operational cost. Yes, Rank Brain was Google's first AI-based search algorithm. So first, Google's first artificial intelligence-based search algorithm was Rank Brain. This is also correct. This is very important. And AI enables the personalized credit product design. Yes, AI enables if you provide them the the example, then they will show you the exact same type of example. They will give you the same type of example. So that is, it is personalized, or we can say it is customized. So all the statements are correct except the statement one. So only two, three, and four are correct. Done. So AI hubs are government supported research and innovation for AI in general. It is not for mutual funds. And rest all the statements are correct. Now, again on descriptive and predictive analytics. So, descriptive means you are describing, you are explaining the past performance, the historical performance of any event in your company. Yes. Predictive means making predictions, doing forecasting for future events. Yes. Analysis, forecasting. Prescriptive means now you are thinking that how we can make this happen. If we want to increase the sale by 20% for the next year, then how we can make this happen. So it provides suggestions for action. Yes. And diagnostic means finding the root cause. If your sales went down in the previous year, then why it went down. So it creates real-time dashboards. That is diagnostic analytics. So all the four statements are correct. Okay, so this already we have done. Now, next question number 17. Again, four statements are given to you. So it is from business data analytics, that is data mining. Data mining is what a huge data is given to you, large sets of data are there. And the relevant data, if you are picking from large sets of data, that is called data mining. So from multiple of data, if you are picking the important relevant data for your work, that is called data mining. So it explores unstructured data for forecasting and insights. Business analytics excludes financial forecasting use cases. Machine learning improves cash flow prediction, or scenario modeling supports strategic capital planning. Tell me, which option is correct? So it explores unstructured data for forecasting insights. Unstructured when the data is not in a proper structure format. Okay, when data is in the format of extensions, that is called unstructured data. Like for image file, you have JPEG. For video file, you have WMA or WMV. So these are what? These are the extensions. Now, so these are called unstructured data. Yes, business analytics, it excludes, is it so? It excludes or it includes? It includes financial forecasting, na? That is predictive analytics. Predictive analytics we have seen, na? It includes. Now, machine learning can improve cash flow, yes. Scenario modeling, it supports how to plan, how to make strategy related to your company, the strategic capital planning, yes. So in different scenarios, we have three scenarios, that the best one, then worst one, and the normal one. Now, best is also known as optimistic, worst is known as pessimistic, and normal is known as expected. So 1, 3, and 4 are correct. Now, question number 18. Tell me, which of the following is not a component of big data? So in big data, we have three V's. Now, which among the following is not a part of three V's? So we have volume. Volume tells about the quantity. Then we have velocity. Velocity tells that at what speed your data is moving from one path to another. And third is variety, that different types of data, large data, huge data, small data, then big size data. So variety means types of data, different types of data. But visibility is not a part of 3B. It is not included. So 1, 3, and 4. That is option number C. Done. So volume, we have amount of data generated, the quantity of data. Now, velocity is what the speed of data, and variety is structured, unstructured data, the text, the videos. And volume means the quantity, that is large size, small size. So kilobyte, terabytes. So we have bits, then bytes, then kilobytes, then megabyte, then gigabyte, then terabyte, then petabyte, then next we have iota, zota, byte, like this. So these are what? These starts from increasing order. So that is one. Now next question number 19. And please do subscribe the channel if you have not done yet, and please like and share the video as much as you can, so that more and more bankers, they may get the benefit of solving such questions. Now, two statements are given: data segregation. Now, there are two words in this. One is data aggregation, and the next is segregation. Now, so understand it, okay? Listen it very carefully. Now, aggregation means what? Combining data. When you are combining the data, like suppose you have the data of ABC school, then let's take it A school, B school, C school, D school, E school. That how many students are among all the students, how many are there girls, how many are there boys. Okay, so this you have separate data. Now, if you are combining these data, that is called aggregation. And if you have all data, from all the data, if you are separating the data, that in suppose in this locality, the 10,000 students are studying. Now, in this 10,000 students, how many students are from A school? How many students are from B school? In A, what is the ratio of girl and boy? In B, what is the ratio of girl and boy? Now, how many classes are there? So, if you are separating the data, that is called data segregation. If you are combining the data, that is called data aggregation. All right. Now, so in banking, it refers to separating sensitive customer data from general data. Segregation, it makes it easier to understand. It makes it easier to maintain privacy. Yes, both the statements are correct. So this is all about segregation. Segregation means keeping different sets of data separate from each other. Like you are keeping your clothes in a wardrobe, in a closet. Now, shirts in one, trousers in another, socks in another, instead of throwing everything together. So that is what you are separating. You are keeping it in different sections. You have separated your clothes in different sections. That is called segregation. When you are combining all the clothes together, that is called aggregation. Now, which of the following statements about Green Credit Initiative are correct? Green Credit Initiative, it is from Green and Sustainable Financing. So it aims to encourage sustainable environment. Yes, green means it is encouraging sustainability. It is eco-friendly. It is designed to mitigate. Mitigate means to less the climate change. Yes, we are saying that nowadays climate change is happening. like uh, 10 years back, the monsoon time was from July to September, but now the actual monsoon starts from September, August, September, October. So this is how the climate is changing. Now, it is only applicable to the energy sector? No, it is applicable to the renewable sector, to different sectors, not only energy sector. It promotes plantation, that is afforestation on wasteland and river catchments. Afforestation, yes, this is also correct. So A, B, and D is correct. Option 1. Any doubt so far? So we have done 20 questions. Any doubt to anyone? Now, last 5 questions. Let's do that also. Which of the following are key objectives of green banking? So green banking means, if you are, what is green banking? If you are investing in any project, or if you are taking loan from any bank and you are using that loan for the environment purpose, or green banking if the bank is using less paper, they are doing everything automate to protect the environment, that is called green banking. So financing pro environment project, yes. Maximizing short term profit, only short term or long term also. So it is both short term and long term. Reducing carbon footprints. What is reducing carbon footprints of banking means, uh, usage of carbon less and less. Okay, carbon emission products or factories that are emitting more and more carbon. So we should reduce that. And promoting social and environmental sustainability. Yes. So A, C, and D, all three are correct. Now, next, which of the following statement is true regarding Conference of Parties 29? So, COP is what? Full form of COP is Conference of Parties. So far, it is the latest conference which was conducted is 29th conference. Now, where it conducted, in which state it conducted, and what was the agenda of the COP meeting? Now, what is COP? COP is what? So, Conference of Parties. It is basically it is a global meeting of countries that have signed an international environmental agreement, and such as under the UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And many countries, they sign, they talk on the matter, they discuss and they decide actions to how to fight climate change, how to combat different issues that are occurring in our environment, that are making our environment very unhealthy, how to protect our ozone layer, how to how to work for renewable energy. So this is what basically, to protect the environment, the meeting is conducted. So the meeting is conducted. All the country, the member of all the countries, they come together, they talk, they discuss on different actions. Now, so where it conducted, when it conducted, so it conducted in Azerbaijan. It is a set to host COP29, and where the place is what? Baku. Option C. So option C is the correct answer. Now, so you can see that what is the key outcomes of COP29? So it is pledged to increase the climate finance. So we will provide more finance to uh, for the climate change. Then it targeted $1.3 trillion additional funds through public and private sources. Then it also worked for providing the transparency for working carbon emissions, for uh, then renewed the climate change. So these are the certain outcomes of COP19. So 29th conference, it was the 29th conference, COP conference of parties under UNFCCC. So full form of this is the full form is very important. Now again, so some more points are there. So what is basic information? Now COP29, it was held on 22nd November 2024. The host country was Azerbaijan and the venue at which place the back. Now, next year, like in year 2025, in this year, where now the next conference will be held in Brazil in the year 2025. The previous conference was held in 2020. So all the details I have written 2023, 24 and 20. So UNFCCC, it came into force in 1994. Now, question number 23, 2-3 questions we'll do of SPAC. Chapter SPAC, that is Special Purpose Acquisition Companies. So what is the following statements which are true about the SPAC? So SPAC are what? These are the companies, these are created for any specific purpose. Once the purpose is over, these companies will be wind up. That is known as SPAC. So that is why the full form is Special Purpose Acquisition Companies. Okay, so these companies are mainly created just for any specific purpose. Now, what is that specific purpose? For acquiring another company. For acquisition of another company. So, for acquiring another company, these companies are made. Once the work is done, once the acquisition process is completed, now these companies would done de-SPAC. De-SPAC means these companies would be liquidated or wind up. Now, what are the correct? So, SPAC is a company, it is formed to raise capital. Yes, these SPAC, how they will arrange funds for acquiring the company? So, these companies, they will arrange a fund by raising capital through IPO, then for the purpose of acquiring or with the existing company. Existing company means with the acquired company. Now, suppose company A is acquired. Company A wants to acquire another company. Let's take B. B is the target company. Now, for acquiring this company, company A has formed a new company, that is C. That the only work of this company is to acquire company B. So, this is called the SPAC. So, in general cases, the company C, first they have to search the target company. I have given the example that B is the target company, but first the company C will search for the target company. If company C will get the target company, then the rest of the process will start. Now, at the time of IPO, SPAC have no existing business. Yes, they don't have their own business. They are just formed for the purpose of acquisition. Now, once SPAC are required to return money to investors if acquisition is not completed, yes. So, time period is given. Now, in within 2 years. 2 years means 24 months. So, within 24 months, if SPAC has not acquired any company, SPAC has not done its work within 2 years, so now the SPAC will return all the money to the investors back. Why? Because those investors have provided the money, they have raised money through IPO, they have given money in SPAC. Now, when SPAC has not done the work, so SPAC will have to return the money back to the investors. So far, all the 3 statements are correct. Now, SPAC must have minimum of 3 years. No, it has minimum of 2 years. That is 24 months. So, A, B, C. Option 3 is true. So, what is SPAC? SPAC, it is a publicly traded shell corporation. It is created specifically and it raises money through IPO. SPAC, they don't have any commercial operation at the time of IPO, and usually the time frame of SPAC is 18 to 24 months. And in between these 24 months, if the acquisition is not completed, then within that period, so it is required to return the funds raised to its investor. So SPAC will return the money to investors back if within 24 months, if acquisition is not complete. Now, next question number 24, second last question. Which of the following actions are required if SPAC has completed the merger. Merger means the acquisition with the target company. Now, see, in SPAC chapter, the merger acquisition is seem to be similar, but there's a difference between merger and acquisition. So this we have already studied in mergers acquisition chapter. So what is this? So shareholders approval is obtained. Yes, if the SPAC has completed the merger, now the shareholder approval is required that whether you want to merge in the with the target company or not. So once the shareholder will give the approval, then only it is possible. A proxy statement is filed. Yes. A form AK is also filed. Yes. The SPAC must be delisted immediately. No. When the SPAC has done its operation, completed its operation. Now the delisting is also done. It will take a few months to complete, not immediately. So A, B, C are correct. Okay, so what is the process of de-SPAC means what is the process of winding up? So it happens when SPAC has finally uh, acquired the target company and it has four steps. First, the approval is mandatory. Shareholders, they have to vote to approve the deal. Then the SPAC founders, means those who have made this company. So SPAC founders, they will also agree with the acquisition. Then for if both of them have agreed, then a document will be created, a Super 8K disclosure will be there, and in that file, in that document, all the full details will be mentioned about the deal and the new company for public information. And fourth is the redemption offer. So if the shareholders of SPAC company, if they want, they can be the part of the new company, newly formed company, or if they want, they can redeem their shares back and they can exit the company. So investors, they get a choice. They stay invested in the newly merged company or they can take their money back. If investors are feeling that no, our work is completed, we don't want to get into another new company, so they can redeem their shares back. Now, question number 25, last question. A bit lengthy question, but easy question. So, case study is given, that is XYZ Capital, and this capital has its SPAC. It is launched by group of sponsors. They have raised $300 million in IPO. Means they have raised how much money through initial public offering? That is $300 million. Now the sponsor has received 20% after the merging of the company. They will receive 20%, and they equity they will promote in return for setting up of the SPAC. So when the SPAC company is delisted, now they will return all the money back when the company, when the newly formed company is made. After 12 months, XYZ announces that they have a merged with private AI company and the valuation is $1. Now, so which statements are true in this case? So SPAC sponsors, they benefit significantly from the promote. Yes, they get the benefit from the promote, the 20% regardless of post-merger. Public investors in SPAC, they can redeem their shares before the merger if they don't like the deal. Yes, we have seen that investors, if they want, they can redeem their shares back also. This they can take their money back. Now, the private AI company becomes publicly listed through SPAC merger instead of a traditional IPO. Yes, XYZ announces a merger with private AI company valued at 1 billion instead of traditional IPO. Yes. Now, the $300 million raised is used immediately by the sponsor. No, it is used after the post merger, not immediately. When the merging has happened, when the acquisition has happened after that. So 1, 2, and 3 are not 4. All right. So 1, 2, 3. So funds are held in trust, not used immediately. So there is one trust account in where the funds are kept for safety. So this we have done total So far, 25 questions. Any doubt to anyone in any of these questions? And don't worry, after the session gets over, I will upload the PDF. So later on, or if you want now, you can download the PDF and read it again. Now, so this again one information for you all those who have not yet subscribed to our CIB Super Elite all-in-one plan. They can enroll it now for if you want to make your preparation best. So we have different features are added, different benefits are provided to you in this single Super Elite all-in-one plan. And if you feel that sessions are helpful to you, this session is helpful to you, you have learned uh, from this session, then you can like the session. You can share it with other also and do subscribe the channel that is JIB CIB English Medium. JIIB CIIB English Medium. And this channel is for both the mediums. Okay, you can say English medium. So subscribe both the channels. And if you have any doubt, you can ask your doubts by commenting by in the comment section box. Okay, chalo. So let's meet you in another session. So till then, take care everyone. Goodbye. Keep studying, keep watching, and the PDF will be uploaded once the session gets over. Okay, so bye bye everyone.